All right. Good afternoon. This lovely August 3rd, 2025 edition of our show. I'm Penelope Flynn. I'm here with James, Nikki, Sonia, Cranston, and Otto. And we are your Blerdsassins Next Door. And today we're going to be discussing how the Academy reconfigure their award system. But before we get started, we want to talk a little bit about the weather. And James, since you are top center, tell us about the weather where you are in New York City.
Right now it's about 80 degrees. It's sunny, and it feels good because the humidity is low.
Oh, excellent. How's the kitchen restructuring going?
Still in progress.
All right. When we say still in progress, do we mean in progress or they haven't started yet?
Now I don't even want to get into that because obviously housing done lost their mind. People come up here to do an assessment and they talking about painting, and I'm like, what the F are you talking about? Where you, where did that come from? So the only thing I can say is whatever they're putting in the water coolers and housing offices, they need to change it and put water in there instead of vodka.
All right.
Now,
There
are
we
you are
Now,
go.
you the only one in your building that's having this problem, or are there other units that they're also upgrading or whatever?
now it seems like in certain on certain floors this was why is it an echo? It seems like it's a problem that's been going on for a while.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm. All right. Well, Nikki, how about your weather?
I don't know. It's hot outside here. I don't know the weather at home now because I'm here, but it's
And
hot.
he, all right. It's hot. Okay.
Yeah, it's hot.
How are you, Sonia?
It's a nice day outside. They think it's hot and he steamy, but it's actually quite calm for me. I'm finally back in my element.
So when this is steamy, what do you mean?
They think that there's humidity in the air.
And you think no humidity in
I'm
the air.
from Florida and Georgia. No, there's no humidity in the air.
Okay. So what's the temperature though?
About 79, 80. Yeah.
Wow, that is great. You're not kidding
Yeah.
me.
But
It's
where you
it's
where
about
are
to
you?
get hotter. So I'm in Rochester, New York. It's about to get hotter, so I'm interested to see if they think this is hot and steamy.
Oh, okay.
But
And
I'm in my element now.
well, excellent. And Cranston, since you are in North Florida, in Jacksonville area, how is it
Well,
hot and steamy there?
it is both. We had two back-to-back days that it was 100 degrees and it felt like hell outside. Was the feel like temperature. And then on Wednesday we started having raining, and I don't know if you can hear it now,
Uh,
but it was like uh, thunder rumbling in the background that it is raining. Not a downpour, but a nice steady drizzle.
mm, oh, and how about you, Otto? How's the weather?
I don't understand all these people complaining about hot. Triple digits. Yeah. What you expect in August? And I don't understand why Penelope had to get a sweater. I don't get it.
It's okay. Thank you, sir. Yes, because it's cool in here because I have the air on because it's hot outside. There we go. Okay. Now, this is a topic that we've been kind of touching on, every now and then. And it comes from a few things. Number one, I remember how Cranston basically informed us that, even though we complained about who got this award, did not get that award, he made it pretty clear that these are industry awards that
Mhm.
they give out, for their industry professionals, and that basically we're just the observers who watch their programming. But also recently, in recent years, we've had this issue of people uh, giving awards. Someone who was uh, has had sexual sex reassignment surgery and being nominated in one category for their previous or current um, designation instead of the prior designation, and what that does to the other people who are within that designation with respect to them getting awards. So we think a lot about this stuff. What do you do in order to make this quote unquote fair, level playing field, etc.? So we started thinking about different ways that the Academy might approach giving awards. And one of the ways we started thinking about is things like with Best Director, for instance. Now, when you have Best Director, all you have is, Best Director, and they're not asking you Best Director of what. So, should there be a question of Best Director of what? Is there such a thing as Best Director of a comedy or Best Director of a drama? Should those things be separate? Do they require different skills? So, with that in mind, does anybody else think that maybe we should be thinking differently, or maybe they should be thinking differently, with our input about how these awards are actually structured?
Well,
Otto? Mhm.
yeah.
Otto?
Well, I'm not sure. What does a director do nowadays? What do they actually do?
I mean, directors do exactly what they used to do in the old days. They determine what the actual theme tone is of the film. I mean, they don't necessarily, some people are writer directors. They've written, the screenplay, and they are directing their vision. But really, the director's the person that has the vision, determine what they want this thing to look like when it's on film. Which is why when you're a screenwriter and you submit your work, basically, you're like handing it over, and they can do with it whatever the heck they want, because it doesn't matter what the words are on the page that you sent. It is the director's vision of what it is that they want on the screen. So basically, that's it. And if you want to add anything else, James or Cranston or Sonia, with regards
Nah,
to
Well,
this
nah,
issue.
you asking the wrong person, because
Okay.
I really, really don't care about the Academy Awards. The
Okay.
Academy Awards,
I want to know. I want to know what the director does, really, because
director is basically a cross between a conductor and a construction foreman. The director is the person who is uh, overall in responsible for making sure that everybody else does their job, and they have to do it pretty much the way that he wants it done, or they have to convince him, but there's a better way to do it, or you can't do it that way, or you can do it this way. Most people think of a director as a guy in the chair with, like
the old time
uh,
stuff.
Yeah.
old time guy with the jogger pants and the beret and the whip and
Hmm.
everything like that. But the director, but you have to remember, one thing they tell you if you're writing a screenplay, they say don't direct on the page. If you're writing a screenplay, basically, all you're putting down is location and dialogue. You don't put in zoom in on this or pan to this or something like that unless it's something very specific that you want to do. You have a cinematographer to do that. You have set directors to determine what the location is going to look like. You have costumers that's going to say what they're wearing. Um,
Now, I
and
would, because, okay, now you say that, but it's not exactly correct, is it? I mean, when you write your screenplay, you don't just say everybody's wearing unitards. You have to say when it is, what what era it is, what they are wearing, and of course, the costuming people decide ultimately what fabric and things like that looks like, unless it's important
mm,
to the film that it's a gingham dress,
well,
as
the
opposed to
thing you
silk
want to do is
paisley.
you don't want to do like Alan Moore, and the reason he works so well with Dave Gibbons is Dave Gibbons doesn't mind the directions that Alan Moore will spend a like 3 pages writing notes on what every panel on a page is supposed to look like. And basically, you don't do that. If you're a director, you say like interior, you say it was day or night, interior,
Right,
exterior,
right.
and
What's in the room, whatever.
yeah,
what's
If it's a
you know
certain
and where,
era, you
where it
know.
yeah,
takes
but
place.
Mhm.
you're also forgetting. You also have what they call a
But you
second
don't
unit
do things, you
director.
don't micromanage things and stuff.
Okay,
Say what
But
now?
sorry, James, you said something.
And second, you also have a second unit director.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a second unit director. Okay, all of like the James Bond movies, you had second unit directors. Those were the
Yeah.
directors that directed the stunts.
Yeah.
Okay,
Look, second unit
the
guy stunts if you need to take a picture. So we need a picture of the airport to get this plane coming in. They'd go do things like that. If they need a picture of the freeway tied up at 12 o'clock, they do that. Um, and but they don't generally don't work with the any of the principal actors or any of the actors at all. They do
no,
things
they,
like
Okay. All right. All right. All
uh,
right. Okay. Now, with that being said, James and
Mhm,
Cranston. Now you're talking about a film, and it's being done. It's got a lot of action sequences, and
mhm.
things that are special effects or whatever. Then should I mean I know that within our the awards there's special effects direction. I think recently there's been a big push regarding giving stunt people
Yeah, they
Yeah,
start in
awards. Yeah.
2028.
And
yeah.
so that was a big deal,
Giving some
to
people
get
what?
awards, for
The
best
best stunt.
right. And
Group,
then but
individual,
then
and coordination.
do we move out to then best stunt directing? Does that become a thing?
I think that'll probably fall within coordination, the way the academy goes, until somebody realizes, wait, there's a director just for that.
Right. So I mean I'm saying that then we
Well,
go that route.
but ultimately, though, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, the film is directed by one person, right, or
Right.
two people, and they're
Right.
responsible for everything, right?
They're
Is
like the
there
general contractor.
Yeah.
for
They're the
everything?
general
So
yeah,
But
they're the general
if you like,
contractor.
if a film is good or bad, that's the person to blame.
Right. Right, because they're the
Yeah.
general contractor.
Well,
or the
it's kind of like being a quarterback. It's kind of like it doesn't matter how well everybody else plays, how many passes were dropped, or how many whatever it is. Ultimately, it's going to be your fault, the quarterback, if it doesn't work.
No,
And the thing
I
is,
don't think so, Cranston.
yeah,
Because that's more like that's the coaching staff or the coach
mhm.
that they complain about, who is
well,
that sets the plays, does the general vision. And the quarterback would be like your lead actor or lead actress that dropped the ball, so to speak.
no, I would say it depends
I
on
would think.
who's. Hello, can you? Okay, I would say it depends on who's the producers, because now producers are taking over more of the visionary role. Um,
I do not know that that is the case.
I
It's
know
that
that's the case at Marvel. It's
I
definitely a
don't
Then
know
producer
if
why
that's the
show.
case.
have a why? My
I
my
don't think
question is
that's
this:
I well can't say I don't think that's the case.
the
I
reason
think
I
that
asked the
people who
question,
are go ahead.
yeah, the reason I asked the question is the director, based on what you guys discussing, and then you have this other thing that Sonia just said about the producer. But the thing is the director is the main person taking it's
Hmm.
their vision and everything else. It's whatever award ceremony you have is going to be a very short ceremony because if there's one person who's responsible for all of this, putting this all together, like you said, Penelope, a general contractor, right?
Hmm.
Then that's a very short ceremony, right? That
No, because they do it now. You get awards for best director with
yeah,
the
that's what I'm
Academy
saying.
Awards
It's
and
like
everybody else. So I'm not saying that we don't we get rid of best director, or saying is,
no, 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 no.
as we
I'm
said
no,
before, there's
no,
these
and I'm saying
under.
get rid of best director.
Mhm.
I'm just saying that's like the real the person that you're looking at to see whether or not they directed the best, they did the best job, as far as their vision. So it's
Yeah.
really important, and maybe it should be like if you're watching an award show, maybe that's the very first category that you go up.
Well, no,
Or the
that's
very
why they
last,
say all of
or
the
the very
big ones
last, right?
toward the end to make sure you don't
Mhm.
turn off the channel and
Right.
watch the
Mhm.
news before it comes on. And there are things that depends on your directors, like Clint Eastwood, for example, has a reputation for being a director who does things in one or two takes. He'll just say, "Okay, that's good. Okay, that's it. Let's go to
Mhm.
something else." Whereas you have somebody like Stanley Kubrick, who will have you do one take of somebody walking down the street 10 feet on the sidewalk 27 times until he gets one that he thinks is right. And he's
Yeah.
notorious, or he was notorious for his multiple takes. So
Mhm.
And
sometimes you
people,
have directors have a very clear vision of what they want to do in a certain way, or there will be one they'll listen to the input of everybody else on the set. If an actor has a better idea or wants to change the line reading or something like that, that they will say, okay, that'll work better. And if you listen to the commentary tracks on DVDs and stuff, so sometimes they'll talk about how, well, they did this, that, and the other, and they liked it so much they decided to keep it in. So
And
it's
people make decisions, and people make decisions based on who the director of a film is. Like they'll, if a film directed by Joe Blow, maybe they won't go see it. But if it's directed by Ryan Coogler, they're like, oh, I'm going to see the new Coogler film or something like that.
I think those were all very much true in the auteur stage, when we were in the auteur stage of Hollywood, where the director was the final arbiter. But now a lot of producers are stepping in going, but we need you to do this. We need this to lead to this next movie.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they say it, because the director ultimately has to make the decision to say yay or nay.
Not always.
No, always.
Using the Marvel in the position.
Always.
Marvel will hand you, this is what we need you to do in this script. This is what we need you to do in this movie.
But Marvel, the producer, is not going to sit there and look through the lens, and they're not going to decide creatively what it looks like. Now, they may be able to say, we want this in, we want this out, but they don't creatively determine what goes on the screen.
Well, maybe that's why their movies are so damn bad. Maybe because the producers button in, and all they do
is what I was trying to point out. Because we're so obsessed with the next sequel. Can you make us a sequel on this if it does good? The producers tend to have more input than they should.
No, but you've had, even before Marvel, you've had producers have more input than the directors. I mean, even look at the small screen with I Love Lucy. Okay, the first, I think, 2 seasons, I forget his name, the gentleman's name, but he was producer. But by the 3rd season, he was gone because he had a constant clash with Desi Arnaz. Okay, and sometimes, like I said, even before Marvel, you've had producers that have stepped in and gotten in the way, to the point where some directors have actually had their name taken off of the film. Okay,
because it's overstepping.
And see, another thing real quick is that if you see the credits, you see like director, producer, executive producer. Half the time,
always last.
Yeah, but half the time the executive producer has more juice than the producer,
because they're bringing in the money.
Exactly.
And the producers, actually, they're like, if you were like an attorney or something, you're the person that makes sure that all the rights, that package of rights, is pulled together, because if the rights are not all pulled together, you cannot sell it.
Exactly.
But the thing is, nobody remembers who produced Hitchcock films, and nobody remembers who produced the Ryan Coogler film, and that's just him and his wife, or doing something like that.
Yeah, it's usually
I could be wrong, but people do remember who produced a Hitchcock film because he was the producer.
There you go.
He was the auteur.
I don't.
Everything stopped with him.
I may be wrong, but I've watched those films. Got really into credit watching, and I don't remember him producing that many films. I remember
there was a line. There's a line in Wag the Dog. It's a movie about the government gets a director to direct this war in order to build up the things for this president. And there's this line toward the end of the movie where, after it's going the way they want it to, that Dustin Hoffman, who plays the director, goes into this rant about how the producers are just as important as the actors and all these other people, but they never get the credit for it and everything. He goes on and on and on about how that all of a sudden he wants to get credit for this thing that they were doing clandestinely. And for those who haven't seen the film, it's worth taking a look at it. So I'm going to tell you what happens. But yeah, the producers are generally sort of like the people behind the behind the scenes, and that's why when they get to Best Picture, they call the producers up on the stage, and they're the ones
Yeah,
who
but then
make
they're not
the
even
the first.
they're not even a category. Said best producer. They're not
Yeah,
even a
well,
category.
it's like this. Whether you need a category for them or not, they're the hand behind the throne.
So
Okay,
is that so? With
And
that
also,
said,
they're the ones who
should there
come up with
be
the money for it.
yeah? But the executive producers, yeah, they're the ones who put together the money. Now, should there
Mhm.
be a category for the best executive producer? But then, if there is,
But it
how do
sounds
you
like it.
determine? How do you determine what that means in the grand scheme of things?
well,
You
I
know,
The
wouldn't,
person that brought the
I
most damn
wouldn't
money.
be,
The
I
best
wouldn't.
film award goes to the producers.
Yeah, but it's not a category though.
Best film?
No,
best film, but not
producer.
best executive
No, but that's because it goes
producer.
to the producers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that normal people they don't suss that out. I mean, The Godfather wins Best Picture. The Godfather wins Best Picture.
Hmm.
Nobody gives a damn whether the producer comes up there and grabs the Oscar.
But that's
So
who
I
it
mean,
goes.
it's not
That's
even
what
a
it's
category
for.
for it.
Yeah, that's
Well,
that's
that's
what it.
also, if you look on a lot of films, you'll also see the directors are also listed at some point as producers. Now,
Hmm.
some producers, it's just the title that you get. Like they'll make somebody, like if you're a writer and you George R. R. Martin is listed as producer, as
Hmm.
in sort of an honorary thing. Although he's not on the set, he doesn't have anything really to do with anything. And then there are some producers that are a little bit more hands-on, and it also leads to the thing that is the one of the rights that directors like to get is the right of final cut, because if you don't
Hmm.
get that, you can finish your movie and the producers can look at it and say, well, we're going to recut it. So there are a lot of movies that have a running time of like 3 hours, and they'll cut it down to like an hour and a half. And the director has no say in that happening.
And maybe
Yeah,
they make make
you also have to factor in that some movies that star, a certain person is the star of that movie. Some movie they're the producer.
Hmm.
Hmm.
and when I see that, I always think that the reason they're doing that is to get a cut of the proceeds or something.
No, well, you have it's like this. You have some stars, right? That they're so adamant they'll read the screenplay, okay, and they are so adamant that they want to star in that movie of that uh, screenplay that they want to produce it. That's why you have some actors that will actually buy the options. Oh,
What in the world?
Nu-
dive,
The nuclear
dive,
missiles are
Ah,
dive.
coming.
Yeah, so you have some actors that will buy the options to that screenplay
hmm.
or to that book.
Well, you see
Hmm.
these shows like I'm watching, like Dexter, right? So
Hmm.
in Michael, what's his name?
Michael
Um,
C. Hall.
Michael C. Hall, right? So at the beginning of the series, he wasn't anywhere near a producer. He was, at least he wasn't given producer credit. But
Right.
when the series came along and the multiple season, third or fourth season, he shows up as a producer. So I'm thinking he's doing that because when it goes into syndication or whatever, he's trying to get a piece of the action or as far as the
Yeah,
money.
yeah, and also the fact that you have some actors that, especially with a TV show, they have become so comfortable in that role that a director for episode really can't come on the set and tell that actor what to do because that actor has invested so much to the point where they after a couple of seasons they become the producer. They direct some episodes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like with Avery Brooks with Deep Space Nine. They got to the point where he directed a couple of episodes.
Or
Because they you know
it's like Alan Alda with MASH. He was like the highest
yeah
paid
yeah
person on television because he was a producer, he's a writer, he directed some episodes, and he
yeah
acted. So he got
yeah
all these different roles.
Yeah, and like
And
you said,
also, if you look at
yeah, it's also a thing where they're looking to the point where, okay, this show has become so successful. I want some more of the gravy from this show. So yeah, they're
But the
gonna do
gravy,
that.
it's a gravy roll. It's not really
Well,
it's a money roll.
no, it didn't. It who knows? It with Alan Alda, it might not have started off as a money or gravy roll, but as the seasons went on, he's like, oh shit, I could pay the mortgage on my house with this. I could buy a new car with this. I may have thought season one of MASH it wasn't gonna last, okay, and eventually it was gonna be canceled. But now that we're in the fourth and fifth season, oh shit, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
going on
get
for
all of the
20
pie.
years. You're
Yeah,
going
I'm
on for
gonna get.
20 years.
Yeah,
But
it went on longer than the Korean War itself.
right,
That's why you
and
see a lot of TV shows now canceling before year 5, because year 5, a lot of those options come up, and they don't
Ah,
want to pay them.
yeah.
see,
So the question becomes, who's more important, the producer or director? If
they're both. The producer director is responsible for making sure it all gets put together, along with the editors and all these other people. But the producers, and also, if you notice on some shows, well, how come they have like 20 producers? That sometimes they have producers that are only responsible for one aspect of the show. So you have one producer who oversees special effects, another producer who oversees locations and logistics and things like that. And then you see some people that are listed as executive producers where they're not on the floor, as opposed to line producers who are the people
right,
who are on
right, but you see, the
when
problem
the
is,
show comes.
if you're talking about an award show, all of these different roles exist, but what is ultimately the most important role? What is it the producer or is it the director? And and so who ultimately is
Mhm.
going to be responsible for the show? The award or the accolades, right?
well,
So
I wouldn't say that one is more important than the other. I would say that within their own orbit, they're they're important. Okay,
well, it's like
because
well, let me ask you this: for a normal schmo like myself, okay, I never said, oh my God, this movie is produced by blah blah blah. So I'm gonna go see it. It's always, this movie is directed by
no,
M. Night Shyamalan.
because
I'm
because
interested in it.
right because you're not,
Oh yeah.
and this comes to the problem and the reason why I left the Academy Awards watching it a long time ago. All of this minutia that we're talking about is basically the Academy Awards is just a night of everybody slapping each other on the back.
Mhm.
That's all it is, and we can hope to reconfigure it, but it's just a party for people within the business. Okay, because come on now. You have some movies that will literally be pit in streaming or in the movie theaters like a day before the Academy Awards or wherever
Mhm.
the before the deadline is to submit, and it'll be a film that absolutely positively none of us have seen.
Yeah,
Okay, and
but
And
but
that is
but
why you have all the movies
yeah,
that come out around Christmas, because that's at
right
the end of the year and that's closer to when the ballots start going out.
but people
And
there
they
you
figure,
go.
people have a limited movie budget, right? If they're going to make a decision, if they're going to go see a film, it's based on certain normal things. Forget this, circle jerk of producers and line editors and all that stuff. Basically, it's going to be who's directing it, who's acting in it, and the subject matter. Pretty much that's it, right? It's not
Yeah,
going to be
well,
anything about the producer,
Yeah.
the
Well,
people doing the
that's
stunt director or any
right, and
aspect.
that's the regular
And
people
that's called the
like you,
People's Choice Award.
Joe Smo.
but a reason for
Okay,
that is
That's the People's Choice Award.
when Spike Lee was there, he wanted to do a scene. He thought it was important to do a scene because of Malcolm X's growth as a traditional Muslim, that he wanted to take a film him going on and so it was going to cost like $300,000 to do that and everything. And he went back to Warner Brothers, who was producing the picture, and said, I'd like to shoot this. And Warner Brothers said, no, we're not going to give you any more money to do it. So then Spike Lee had to go out and he solicited a lot of to get the money to go and shoot the scene to put it in there. And so that's the other thing is the producers ultimately control the money, and they can tell you yes and go ahead and let you do that. So that's another reason why they're the money people. So that's why they get recognition or they get to come up on stage if you get Best Picture.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I mean, if you're a producer and your movie or film, potato, is successful,
Mhm.
okay, then people are gonna be looking for you to produce other things because you have the Midas touch. Now,
yeah,
if you
ultimately,
were if you were the person, if not Michael Cimino himself, but whoever was the producer that was attached to Heaven's Gate, you might as well go apply for a job at McDonald's after that.
Yeah.
well, let's say that. But you got Heaven's Gate, right? But if you
Mhm.
earned a lot of money, then everybody running on stage and it gets nominated, right?
Right?
It's all about money.
Yeah.
It's a bullshit
Well,
movie.
another thing about what producers. Yeah. Well, another thing about what producers do, and this is the thing that kind of made a controversy at the time it happened, and it's changed the way people did things. And that was, of course, with the now discredited, and I'm surprised he hasn't been pardoned yet, Harvey Weinstein. That Harvey Weinstein had weaponized Academy Award campaigns. And so if you look back and wonder how come Shakespeare in Love won Best Picture when it was going up against Saving Private Ryan, and that's because Weinstein had orchestrated this really killer, aggressive marketing campaign during the award season. And that's why they won Best Picture and Saving Private Ryan didn't.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
it didn't help that. I mean, after the fact, it didn't help after the fact that we're now finding out that Ambrose Bierce that had
Yeah.
a hand in, yeah, in writing it. He was you. What's the old saying? You open up a dictionary, you look for the definition of plagiarism, and Ambrose Bierce is right there. My God, he was just stealing from everybody.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, it's okay. So the question
to me,
is,
you can eliminate a lot of categories. I mean, this debate in and of itself tells you basically the director plays a role, but it's far less of a role than what the general public, the Joe Schmoes and Gene Schmoes of the world believe it to be.
I
well,
don't think that's the case. I really don't. I think that's. I mean, for instance, and I know one of the entities that said that they're like producer driven is like Marvel, but Marvel is not the pinnacle
It's
of
garbage. It's hot
yeah, of
garbage.
artwork. Art, the film is art.
It's
So
hot. It's hot sequel
so
garbage.
right, and so when
It's
you're
art when
looking
they
at
trusted the
people,
directors.
that's the thing. These production run things are not always. I mean, they may be good for money, or having sequels or prequels that'll be made in the future to make
Mhm.
money. But the artistic direction, I think, still has
Mhm.
to be in the hands of one person that has a vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marvel does well when they trust their directors like Ryan Coogler and the guy who used to direct all the Spider-Man films before he stepped down.
Sam Raimi.
No, the one that did all the Holland ones.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They
Right.
just left them all. They just told them this is where we need the end credit scene to be, and they left them alone.
Yeah, well, I love Sam Raimi and his
Sam
directing.
Raimi
Yeah,
was
Sam Raimi
Sam
was
Raimi was
Sony.
Sam Raimi.
Yeah,
I mean,
but that was the
I'd be
Sony.
less
Yeah.
I'd be less interested in seeing a Spider-Man film if it wasn't directed by Sam Raimi because I know his track record, right?
So
Mhm.
yeah, but when they do have those type, even the latest Spider-Man that he directed, they didn't completely trust him. They took over control. It's all like Ryan Coogler and Daniel Crichton are the only ones that they trust now to just go.
Well,
Ye-
that's the person. If I go to see a film and it's written by or it's directed by Ryan Coogler, I have expectations. I
Right.
go see Sinners, and it's directed by once again Joe Schmo, who also watches the films and directs the films. So it's directed by Joe Schmo. Sinners directed by Joe Schmo. I would say I'll see it when I see it.
Yeah.
But if it's directed by Ryan Coogler, I say, oh man, I'm gonna see something different.
Well,
That gets me in the theater.
Mhm.
well, there's also the thing that goes with the continuity example, and this is one of the questions that came up. That for the first 25 movies, all of the James Bond movies were produced by the Saltzman family and Broccoli family, because I
Right.
think about midway through, Saltzman got bought out. But then they sold the franchise over to Amazon. And so
Mhm.
from now on, all the James Bond movies will be produced by Amazon, and they will not have any connection with it. And some of the things that they have floated out by Amazon was doing sequels and prequels and offshoots.
Yeah, but would you?
Yeah.
To me, the James Bond franchise is kind of
Mhm.
dead, right? So for me to go see it, it has to be a pretty damn good director, right? And if it's that person's vision that I want to see, that person's vision on this franchise, it's like going to see Coogler, his vision of the Rocky franchise. Nobody want to see no damn Rocky film.
Mhm.
And the only reason people went to see Creed and is because Kruger did it.
Yeah.
Nobody want to see no damn James Bond movie, 1,000 times over. I'm Bond James. Nobody want to see any of that because you've seen it 1,000 times. Unless somebody with a track record of being edgy and doing things differently
No, well,
does it.
I think if here's where it's like a fork in the road with the Bond franchise. I think people trusted even near the end of their run, people
Mhm.
trusted the Broccoli family. Once you saw their name attached to the Bond franchise, you can pretty much figure, okay, it's gonna be something that I want to see.
Mhm.
Now with this whole thing with Amazon, like I said, it's a fork in the road because we don't know what the hell Amazon is gonna do
Yeah, and
with
Mhm.
it.
I don't have high expectations because based on what Amazon has done to
Mhm.
like Major League Baseball and football, I don't trust them to do anything that's going to
No,
look good.
I think Amazon should just get out of just sell books.
Go
Just
back
sell
to your
books.
roots. Go back to your
Yeah, go
roots.
back to your roots. Stop with
Mhm.
this going into Major League Baseball and football. See, because going off topic for a second, this is what a lot of people are pissed off at. That if I'm a Yankee fan, why is it I gotta go to Amazon Prime and and
Apple,
and and Apple and all these different platforms?
Yeah,
What
just to
happened
watch
to
the game.
just watch the game? What happened to the
and,
days when I could just watch it on Yes? You know?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
understand this: have you ever watched the game on those platforms?
Oh my goodness.
No.
I have, I
Mhm.
have, and so based on that, I have no hope whatsoever that it's going to be something new or different. The only thing that would make me want to see a James Bond movie if they have somebody different, like an
You just have a
Idris Elba, somebody like that, or somebody who's maybe a black woman or something different like that. But other than that, they can keep that, because if you watch the baseball game on Apple or Amazon, it looks like I can't even describe it. The way they have so many graphics, and whether or not the hit probability is going to be this or that, or the strikeout probability,
Yeah,
it's pure garbage. It's garbage.
what is it? Vimo, whatever that velocity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What your velo is,
Yeah,
off the bat,
yeah, all
as
that,
if that
all
ever
that
matters. If that ever matters, right?
on the screen. It takes up so much space, and it's so busy
Yeah, and it's
that it
busy,
is
and your
difficult.
eyes are just
Yeah.
drawn to it because
Let,
it's there.
let me tell you real quick. You know what that was back in the old days?
Hmm.
Ted Williams would go up to Willie Mays like during the All-Star game, and he would ask her, "Listen, when you get a nice hit, a home run or whatever, do you smell a little bit of the wood burning?" And Willie Mays would say, "Yeah, that was velocity
Yeah,
back in the day.
how hard you
That's
hit the
all."
damn ball. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so that's why if you're talking about Amazon taking over a franchise, then the director and basically if they're producing it, then the people who are supposedly artistic inclined, they don't matter as much. And then as far as, I mean, who's going to jump on the stage when they hand out an award? Jeff Bezos?
probably
He's
Probably.
so.
he's not
Probably.
connected anymore.
Probably. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
So,
Well, also, but it's just like everything else. Is whoever has the money is the person that determines what you're going to be doing. So
so whoever has the money is going to determine what the director is going to be doing and what the
Right.
yeah, I
actor,
Well,
mean,
I guess what
what the
direction
actor is going to be
they're
doing.
it's going to
depends on
cost you
what direction it is.
$250 million to do this movie, and you have to make back $500 million for it to be considered successful. Then you're going to have a big say on what they do and they don't do, which means that after they turn in the movie, you can't change it. And that's one of the things about Orson Welles had this thing set up where they can't do anything to do Citizen Kane. They've colorized a lot of the old movies from that period. Like I know they colorized This a Wonderful Life, but they can never do anything to Citizen Kane. They can't colorize it. They can't edit it. They
That's because
can't add
he
in.
got back the rights.
He got so that's the kind of thing that you look for. So, but if you don't have that, it's like whoever gives you the money to get it made, they get to determine what the running time is going to be and what
So
the distribution,
basically
whatever.
the best director category is
And we
is
spend
it?
a whole lot of unnecessary time on that, as I'm having
Yeah,
to
it's
say.
gone.
So
It's
no,
not.
no, I'm just saying that
It's
there's so many
unneeded
other
category.
issues to talk about, and we
It's
just spend a lot
unneeded
of
category.
time talking about best director.
So
Which I think is a
eliminate
needed category. I do think is that somebody has to have that creative vision as to what
Mhm.
it is that it's going to look like when it's on film. But
eliminate it.
no, because you still have to have someone who determines what the creative vision is. I mean, that's my opinion. That I
We
think.
still have enough auteurs that we need to keep the category.
I
Yeah.
say eliminate it.
Okay, but I mean, I think one of the other issues that we talked about when
Yeah,
this
but
became an
if
issue
you
for us was about the best actor, best actress categories, and whether or not the best actor, best actress categories need to be eliminated,
I say
and whether
eliminate
it should
that
just
too.
it's best performer,
Right.
in a lead role, best performer in a supporting role, and maybe have those divided into subgenres, genres, best lead actor in a drama, best lead actor in a comedy, best lead actor in a horror, best supporting actor,
I think
performer,
supporting,
yeah,
in
performer
my
stuff.
opinion, in my
Hmm.
humble opinion, I think you should eliminate all those categories in between sexes and supporting and non-supporting, and basically said best actor in a movie
Best
or best
performer
performer,
in
best
a.
performer. For instance, Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross, right?
Hmm.
You
It's an
got
ensemble piece,
You got Alec Baldwin, right?
right?
does that fantastic 5-minute scene, should he
Yeah.
get enough? Is he the best performer in the movie? If so, he gets the award, and that's the end of it.
I
Okay, so
disagree. I
so so
disagree. I think
so
it
you-
should be lead and supporting.
so you- so Otto, you're saying get rid of supporting actor
Yeah.
category. Okay, I think no, no, and no.
Uh-uh.
Okay, because you have some movies where the supporting actor carried the film.
Then it should get best performer.
Okay,
No, but I
and
think that I think some people, even though they are a lead actor, that you have a supporting actor or a supporting role, excuse me, that may be a foil character that is necessary to define the lead role. And so, if that person does their job well, they should be identified, but it shouldn't take away from the fact that the lead actor did well as well, as well.
yeah, and also the supporting actor category. That's been kind of like over the decades a backdoor for a person that's been busting their ass in Hollywood
Hmm.
to get an award. Case in point, I was so happy that Martin Landau got Best Supporting Actor. What was it for Ed Wood?
Hmm.
Okay, because he really bust his chops. Because see, for me, I'm not so much interested in the stars, the stars, the lead.
Hmm.
I'm interested in supporting actor, which 90% of the time that's a character actor. I love character actors. Okay, because to me they're serious actors. You know, when they could take themselves and put themselves into a character 100%.
Right.
Okay, that's what's important for me. Um, the only problem, if I must say, because really I have no penny in this bank with the Academy Awards, is yes, sometimes with in fact, that's one of the reasons why I stopped watching it back in the day because it was just too long,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, but Martin Landau and Ed Wood, he was the best performer. So why not just give him the best performer because he's the best performer in that movie?
No,
But what about?
because you have, what if you have a, a actor that's in one movie that they're the star and they did their job and should get best actor or the best actor award, but maybe it's another movie where the supporting actor shines.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So you can't just it, listen. If I may say, if there's one thing I may say about this whole thing, is just keep act the award for actor and best supporting actor.
Yeah, and I think that. But if we do that, should there be a division between comedy and drama? That the best lead act, best lead performer in a drama, and best lead performer in a comedy, because
I don't think so.
I think that they require different things, different elements from the performers, but also how often do comedy actors get to become best performer, best actor? I mean, it's hard.
I
Everybody
think
competes
I
for
think I think a
drama,
lot of people look at comedy, they look down on it, you know.
right? And that's what I'm saying. That how often do these people who do excellent work get an opportunity to be seriously considered for best lead in in whatever their
Yeah.
genre film is.
Well, that's one of the prejudices that the Academy has. There's some genres that don't get any consideration. For example, if you're an animated movie, no matter how good you are, and I think there was one animated movie, it might have been Into the Spider-Verse or something, that did get nominated for Best Picture, but they're not going to win. Um, if you're a comedy, you're probably I don't know if a comedy ever won for Best Picture unless it was something like maybe Some Like It Hot or something that they won.
Mhm.
I think westerns occasionally will win one, like Unforgiven or something like that. But science fiction, horror, The Exorcist, no
Yeah,
matter how good it was.
the speculative fiction. The first time the speculative fiction won was when Everything Everywhere at Once, and what was the other one? There was another one that won that year. That was the first time they were nominated in a long
Yeah.
time.
So there are some things that and that's why they have like the Golden Globes does have those kind of categories set up. So you might get a Golden
Yeah, and
Globe.
that damn show is longer than the Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's like Charlie Chaplin never won a Academy Award. It should have, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But now people point to the individual leagues or whatever guilds that have their own award shows. So there's
Yeah.
a one for the writers, the actors, where they recognize the ensembles when they, so that's where Glengarry got the most of their awards.
I'll talk about the Joe Schmo, man. And Joe Schmo is not going to look at the BAFTA.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe Schmo is not going to look at the British awards. Not going to look at the Writers Guilds awards. Going to look at the big, like people watch baseball. People watch basketball. They may be casual viewers here and there, but a lot of people watch the World Series. A lot of people watch the Super Bowl, and a lot of people watch the NBA playoffs. And so we talk about the big game. And so the big game is the Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's how they make a decision as to who's best.
Yeah, and that's because it's been built up like that over the decades. It was a must see event. You know what I'm saying? It would be a must see TV thing for that night where people would watch the Oscars.
Yeah.
And it would start at like 8 and then it would finish around midnight when they would finally announce best picture and best actor and all of that there. And they tried to cut it down where they would have like a alternate Oscars for the other categories. But again, this is
give it to me. Just give it to me. I cut it down.
Well, the other thing they've done for it is that, and I think it's kind of a disservice to some of them, but like all of the technical awards, they give them ceremonies that don't get televised at all.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
I don't want to see that. I'm speaking for the Joe Schmoes of the world.
And
I don't give a damn about the key grip of the best boy.
Hey, the King, the best boy, and the Gapper. Those are.
I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I said, oh my God, Penelope is the best boy in this movie. I've got to see that. I ain't thinking about that.
I'm the Foley editor. So there.
Yeah, the Foley editor. Get the hell out of
here.
But
those are great. Those
I know it's a job, but you know what?
No, it's not just. That's not just a job. Without them, you don't have the film.
No, I understand it. I understand. You don't have a baseball game without the equipment manager, but I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to see the Yankees because Bill Simpson is the equipment manager for the Yankees.
Wow, you are really.
I don't give a damn about all that. I go to the Yankees because Aaron Judge is playing. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Well, I think it comes down to there are some people that do get invested in the minutia of whatever it is. So yeah, they do want to know about. This person got it for best, left-handed costume supervisor or something like that.
Yeah, okay, we're going to drill down that deep. We're not drilling down that deep.
And then there's some people
let them read it in the book. Let them read it in the book.
And then there's some people who only want to know who got best picture. That's it.
Yeah,
who got best picture? Who got best actor?
It's the Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl. You watch the Super Bowl, you don't watch it. Who's inflating the balls? Unless you're Tom Brady.
Yeah, but see, even with that, again, when it comes to best picture, all of us. Okay, so let's use the NFL as a metaphor. Okay, your team is in first place in division. It's come to the playoffs and whatnot. All of a sudden, they're gonna come with some movie that nobody really went to see in the movie theaters, and they
Yeah,
just got to nominate it. That's
yeah.
like, come on, that's
And we've
like,
seen that.
Yeah,
We have
exactly.
seen that.
you,
That's like when Ichiro was he did his Hall of Fame speech. He said, "Well, and I appreciate that. At the end of my career, I was traded to the Florida Marlins to give my career a couple
Mhm.
more years. Although I didn't know that team existed. So it's like,
Wow. Wow. Come on, man.
yeah, that's what he
uh,
said.
Come on, man.
yeah, and that's like,
I want to see no damn Florida Marlins. I ain't
that's
talking about
that's
that.
like, again,
Wow.
you got the playoffs, and all of a sudden the NFL says, okay, we're gonna put the Cleveland Browns into the playoffs out of nowhere. They're 1 and
Yeah,
15, but we're gonna
nobody
put
wants to see
them in
that.
it.
Nobody's seeing that. I guarantee you, it'll be the lowest ratings of any Super Bowl in all time.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, nobody wants to see that. So
But
the
we see that
Academy
all the
Award has the
time.
best
Yeah, yeah.
category.
But we see that all the time. The Academy Awards. Who was that? The actress was right. What's her name? Riseborough, who was nominated for some film, and hardly anybody saw it.
That's right. That's why you shouldn't be there.
Andrea Riseborough. Yeah,
You shouldn't
Yeah,
and
be there.
yeah. It's this, and see, that's why I that's why
but
It
I
shouldn't
but
don't.
be there.
but but but
It
is it
shouldn't be
about
there.
craft? Is it about craft from the perspective of other craftsmen, or is it about wide release and those of us who have seen it giving it our accolade?
It's
Is it the
about
it's
it.
the Rotten Tomatoes critics or is it the audience?
It's about crafts.
It's about the
Okay.
audience.
It's no, it's about craft, because again, you have all of these pictures that they throw in that just make the deadline.
Mhm.
Okay, that stay in the movie theaters for about a week, and I'm being
Yep.
totally generous.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, it's about craft.
That's what I
It's
mean. It should be about the
That's what.
audience.
That's why Yahoo, Amazon, and some of the other places have one building. They have one theater. They can release it in the theater. Or they have a theater on each coast. They release it in the theater, and then they can get Oscar nominated.
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
That
joke.
y-
sounds so
That's a
th-
joke.
cynical.
That's the
I
It's
this
Florida
is
That's the Florida Marlins, man. Nobody wants
yeah.
you
that.
see you. Thank you, Sonia. This is what this is what I'm
and
saying.
and
Let-
Hollywood is always going to nominate what they want to project. They want
But
history
that's
to
why I need to
remember them
change.
as.
That's why I be
Yeah.
advocating for change. Nobody
Well,
Yeah.
wants to see no
also,
goddamn Florida Marlins in the World Series.
it's like what James said. It's about craft and it's about the audience because
Mhm.
in the there are like two awards. There's if the people who vote for things like cinematographer, costume design, set design, and so on are the only people who are allowed to vote for those people are people who are in that particular guild. The
Mhm.
only awards that everybody gets to vote for is Best Actors and Best Picture.
Yeah, yeah.
And that should be the top of the line. It should be best actor singular. None of this bullshit
Best
about
performer.
ex
Best
actor or
performer.
actress.
You're
It should
just
be
best
best performer.
performer.
Best performer.
Right.
It should be best picture. And based on the discussion we had that was too long regarding the director, maybe kick the goddamn director out and just make it best box office gross producer category
Maybe.
or
I mean,
something.
that's something that people are always talking about, but they don't
Yeah.
want to focus on that because I think that it removes the artistic bent from the awards
But
and moves only
Penelope,
to making money.
artistic, award when your picture is shown in one theater that for one day.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, like I said, this is really cynical to have something like that where you set up your own theater and then you show it in your own theater on each coast, and then
Yeah,
that somehow that makes you um
eligible for
yes,
award.
exactly. And I think that
Well,
is cynical. They should not allow that.
well,
And
that's why they
really is
say opening in such and such a place on December 25th, wide release on January 30th. So
right. So
Yeah,
they can get
or
in under the wire.
it's shown in two cities, like it's shown in New York and L.A. and that's it.
Right. And that's not
And then
really
it's eligible, right? It's eligible,
yeah,
and everybody in between could go screw themselves. They don't see anything.
right.
Remember
well,
when Black Panther came out, they did add biggest fan reception or biggest spectacle. I can't remember what they called it. And because they wanted Black Panther to win an award, even if they weren't going to give them any of the other stuff.
But that was weak. That was weak to me because
Yeah.
it was the best.
Now they
picture.
don't televise it anymore.
Not it's the best pick. It's the best picture because it was the best picture.
Yeah,
Because
it should be
people were
nominated
interested
for
in
these
it.
things. Yeah,
People
and
were interested in it.
right.
People went to see it. People
But
paid
it's
money to
So
see it.
multiple
But it's
times
not what
a year.
Hollywood wanted to be remembered as. That look, they had to go make their own film to get recognized.
Well, you know
Well,
what? Though? I
Hollywood
mean,
wanted to be conceived as being inclusive.
well,
the
the crazy
I don't.
thing,
I'm
NFL
sorry. Wait. Stop. Okay. What did you mean by that? What you just said? I did not
What?
understand.
Hollywood likes to. They look at what they think history will say back at their winners. If they give Halle an award for being a crack addict mom, look how we included her, everybody in here. Whether or not she was the best performer at the time is irrelevant.
Well,
Best picture,
yeah. My
best
question.
pictures.
You said they made this. They made their own film.
They
I-
made, yeah, they. That's what Hollywood didn't want to be remembered as. We forced them to make their own film.
Who is this they? Them you're
We
talking
forced
about?
the others to make their own film, and it made more money than any of our films. That
But
was
they were an art film because they are studio. It was a studio film.
true, but
well,
that's
it
not how
was,
they wanted history to present
it
themselves.
was a studio film, but they really didn't know what they were doing. Now, it could be argued both ways. That generally they say the worst time to release your movie is in February.
Right.
That's it. Nobody remembers the film released in February. When was Black Panther released? In February,
yeah,
which
they didn't know
also
what they were
happened to
doing.
be Black History Month. So they can say, yeah, we did it for Black History Month. But when they were working out the business model, they said another movie that was released in February that did very well as of that was the first Deadpool movie. So their whole
Yeah, they don't know what they're
marketing
doing.
model, their whole marketing model was if this movie does as well as Deadpool, we'll consider it a success. And it turns out that Black Panther made more money than Deadpool the first weekend it was released. So all of
Exactly.
a sudden they had a hit on their hands, but they really didn't know what to do with it. So now it's literally a thing about that success has a million authors, but failure has just one. So that's what it was. They had a hit on their hands where they really didn't expect it and didn't know what to do with it really when they had it, except to say, yeah, we do this all the time.
Well, it's the same thing. You can say the same thing with what is it called? The movie with Jodie Foster was in it with Hector
Oh,
Hannibal
Silence of the
Lecter.
Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs. You know, that came out of nowhere, and the goddamn movie was going out of the theaters. And I think the
Mhm.
movie and the movie and the studio was like either in bankruptcy or near
Yeah.
bankruptcy,
Yeah, they were.
and it got a yeah. So they don't have any idea. You know, they come up with these damn stupid rules. They could eliminate this. They could cut that show in half and give people what people are really interested in. And Silence of the Lambs is one of those movies where people loved it, that people went to see it, and it earned a lot of money. It was very successful, and it won an Academy Award.
They argued that that just happened because the People's Choice Awards are what we want. These are who we would nominate as you nicely say, Joe Schmo, watching it. So we want to be elevated from the People's Choice Awards.
Yeah,
So
but
that's
I mean, how
what you
much
give it to
elevated
by
can you?
craft.
How much elevated can you get
Yeah, I mean,
than having
either
Jodie
gonna you want
Foster
right,
and Anthony Hopkins?
right.
You
You
know,
either you
in
want
this
people to
film,
watch,
But they were in
either
a
you want
horror film.
if you
but
it's not it, you
it
know
doesn't
if you
matter,
either you want people to watch the Super Bowl or you don't.
right?
You want the Florida Marlins playing in your Super Bowl, or do you want the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys? What do you want?
Okay, okay. Here's the thing: if that's the case with the People's Choice Awards, they need to do a better job because up until this this show, I totally forgot about the People's Choice
Yeah,
Awards.
nobody choosing it. What's the People Choice Award? Like the Pro Bowl? It's like the Pro Bowl for the NFL.
Yeah, there you go.
Ain't nobody
I
watching
said,
that. People
I
choose that too.
Yeah, and I kid you not. I'm just saying, in all seriousness, I totally forgot about the People's Choice
Yeah, it got
Award.
eclipsed by the MTV Movie Awards.
Okay,
Okay,
so
and
Now I
see,
didn't even know what
the
that
people on
is.
the panel,
I forgot that was a thing.
Mm,
There's a lot of
the
award
people who are
shows out
sports
there.
fans,
Oh, I think
yeah.
that the
the
Golden
people who are
Globe
sports
Awards, the
fans,
Emmys, the Oscars, and that's just about all that my brain can.
Every guild has their own,
see
even the
Tony
now,
the people who
producers.
are
Not
sport,
drilling down that
the
low.
people,
Not drilling down that low.
the
and
people
the
who are sports
Tonys.
fans on this panel.
Mhm.
How many of y'all watch? Y'all choose All Star. Who's gonna be the All Star? How many of y'all watch the All Star games?
don't don't
Mhm.
don't
Mhm.
don't get me started with that. Don't
You don't watch
don't.
the Pro Bowl. You don't watch the
Mhm.
NBA All Star
I
game. You
I
No.
don't watch the.
I
You don't watch
watched
the.
none of it.
You don't watch
None
none
of
of
it.
it.
Right.
None of it.
That's the People Choice Award. But you watch the World Series and
Yeah.
NBA playoffs, and you watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
see, I think with the Golden Globe Awards, I
Mhm.
think they kind of, I could be wrong, but I think they kind of picked up the slack when it came to popular,
After
you
they
know.
got their hands slapped for not being inclusive.
Yeah, but say that, be that as it may, I think that they picked up the slack to the point
Mhm.
where if you ask a person these days, okay, did you watch or like the Golden Globes
Mhm.
or did you follow that or the People's Choice? People will probably say the Golden Globes,
Right.
and I
People
will
probably
even
say
say that
no.
even though I also consider the Golden Globes is just what is it, the
Mhm. Yeah.
foreign
From
credit.
press score. Yeah.
Yeah, I just also thought that was just
The
uh,
TV
uh
Guide Awards.
no,
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
just also thought of it as a time for all the foreign
Mhm.
writers and critics and whatnot,
Mhm.
newspaper people to get together and do a lot of drinking
That's what it is. You see
for the
people go
night.
up to the podium and they be stone cold drunk.
Oh man.
I
Yeah.
want to thank my agent for all
That's
the.
because they have a dinner right before with an open bar.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
ain't, look. I'm a Joe Schmo. I don't care about none of that, man.
You know.
I'm,
Um
I'm looking at the TV Guide Awards. That's what I'm gonna look at.
in fact, when I kind of stopped with award shows is
Mhm.
when they had what is it? Do they still have that American Music Awards?
Yep.
Yep,
I'm sure they
The
do.
they were
year
hosted by Jennifer Lopez this year.
the
Mm.
year the year that Men at Work won for best reggae album, I was like, nah, I'm out.
Wow.
I'm
Wow.
out.
No. You see, you were later than
Wow.
me. The year that Lionel Richie won anything, I was out.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was yeah.
That's bullshit.
And
I'm
Mm.
gone.
and then the thing that got me was with the daytime Emmys. And mind you, I wasn't really a fan of hers, but every year they would like this Susan
Susan
Lucci.
Lucci. Yeah. I mean, yeah. My
Every
God.
At
I'm like,
19
Every
years.
year. Every
I was
year.
like, for God's sakes, for corn's sakes, Ethel, give her
Yeah,
the
it's
award.
like
Yeah.
it's like every year you're not giving Willie Mays the MVP.
Yeah,
Every
Yeah.
year,
I don't
he's
know
the
Come
what
on.
best
they,
player.
I don't
If
know
he's the
what.
best player, give him an award. She's the best player.
Yeah,
Give her the goddamn
Yep.
award.
yeah,
Nominated
so
every year.
every
19
year,
years before she got it.
and
You know what? I would have quit that very.
that didn't make any kind of sense at
That just
all.
I
that
would have
just
quit
that just
right
torture.
then.
That just torture. I would say like if you did that to Willie Mays or any ball player, you did that to Michael Jordan. You nominate him every year, but he never got the award. You know what he would
Oh
say?
my God. He would
Leave
never
my
show
name
up.
out here. Just leave
Yeah.
my name off this
Well,
goddamn list.
Exactly.
I think with her every the night of the awards, she's at home and she gets a phone call and it's like, Susan,
Oh
you know what's
no.
going to happen tonight, right?
Oh, I wouldn't even be thinking about that nonsense.
You know what's going to happen to you tonight. So,
No.
in fact,
Yeah,
don't even get dressed and come
it's
to
like
the
Michael
award.
Jordan is nominated for the MVP every year, and then every single year, Akeem Olajuwon or somebody else gets it.
Yeah, man. Can you imagine?
Well, I
Michael
think that's
Jordan was
why,
that would
at least for the
last.
Emmys, they have an out that you can, even if you do get nominated, you can decline to accept the nomination.
Mm-hmm.
You have to Candace Bergen that won Best Actress for 5 years. She said, "Well, don't nominate me anymore. Let somebody else have a chance to get it." So
Yeah.
Especially for TV
Oh
shows.
my. Oh my. That thunking.
It's the same damn time. If you have the same damn television show, you should win it one time, and that's it. How you gonna do the
Especially
same damn show if you're the same? You're doing the same character
same
every year.
character. Why do you keep getting
Why do
awards
you
every
keep
year?
nominating the same damn character every year?
This
These
is
people are
true.
crazy. You're doing the
Nah,
same damn thing.
well, the only thing I think me and you disagree with though is you want to get rid of the supporting actor
Uh huh.
award,
Yeah,
and I just
I will make the show shorter. It's too long. It's like a 6 hour Super Bowl game. I mean, you know, it's a good thing, but enough.
Uh
Enough is
huh.
enough, man.
Yeah.
The eight quarters and three halves. It's like,
Yeah.
well, this year I think they only went 10 minutes over the 3 hour limit. It was 8 to
Wow.
11:15. So
But still,
yeah,
three hours is that's a lot.
it's
That's
too
asking a
long.
lot,
yeah.
especially again when they are industry awards and not necessarily the awards that are given by the
Yeah, like all
producers.
right, best ball boy, Thomas
Okay.
Anderson.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Yeah, my name Thomas Anderson. I want to thank everybody that helped me with the ball and
Thank
the
you.
towels.
Thank you. Wonderful. Well,
But
okay. I mean, but I think that that even though we're going on and off and on of things, we're laughing, tee hee, that I believe the Academy really should look into some changes. I really do believe that we should move away from best actor, best actress, and just get
Best
best
performer.
performer
Yeah,
and lead role. I know you aren't Otto in support of best supporting performer, but I am best supporting performer. And I also think that they should be divided up by genre. It
I
should
do
be
not. I do
one
not because,
drama and a
and let me tell you
comedy.
why I do not, Penelope. Quickly,
Why
I'll tell
not?
you why.
Tell
Because
me, tell me.
that gives them an opportunity to look down upon certain
You think
categories and
so?
stuff. Yeah, I
You
think it does.
think?
It gives them
Y'all, you all
out.
think the same thing? But I
Yeah,
mean, when you see
it
the
gives them the
thing, it has drama and comedy. But wait,
ghettoized
drama and
thing.
comedy are, the both, things, the little masks and stuff, they're equal. So I would
I think
think,
you have films that mix those things up. That have
yes,
they're funny and also sad.
dramedies
Yeah,
and
and all
dark
that. And
comedies and
I think that if you do that, yeah, you're gonna have them certain people look down on certain genres. You know, yeah, I think that would be a problem because again, they don't really respect comedy as it is.
But then they'll
Okay,
say, why do we have to be like the Golden Globes, who does that kind of a division?
yeah, okay, they leave it to the Golden Globes to do that. See, the Golden Globes, they was slick.
hmm
Okay, anything that the Academy wasn't doing, okay, anything that have them get to awards night, get
hmm
drunk,
yeah,
they're gonna, they were gonna do, But yeah, it would just be you have, like you said, two masks, comedy and drama. But again, this is Hollywood. Okay, this is the same Hollywood that brought us D.W. Griffith, the
hmm
same Hollywood that brought us Woody Allen.
yep, yep, yep,
Okay,
even
so
after they knew that crap about Allen, they still
right,
celebrate
so
yeah,
Allen, but didn't celebrate Charlie Chaplin. Didn't celebrate
yeah,
Malcolm X. Didn't win, but Driving Miss Daisy and Get Out of Africa did.
it's what you now you get it. Now
Uh-huh.
you understand. This is
This ain't no Super Bowl.
yeah. This ain't no Super Bowl.
wow,
You still have certain people that can pull the strings, that have the power, that are entrenched
hmm
in it. That's why you got look at like as Sonny said, look at with Halle Berry
hmm
with her winning the award. Look at Denzel.
hmm yeah,
Okay,
not for Malcolm X, but for Training Day.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Not for
We can believe him as a
glory.
cop.
Not for
We can
glory.
believe
but for
him as a
training
cop gone crooked.
Exactly. I went to see him in Julius Caesar on Broadway, and the man blew me away.
day. Wow.
Okay, but you're gonna give him an Oscar for Training Day?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see, this is the thing with them.
Yeah.
They
Um,
seem to catch up 2 or 3 years after.
there
Right.
you go, there you go.
Whoopi got would they wouldn't nominate anything for Color Purple because it was Steven Spielberg, but Whoopi gets it for Ghost. Not that it
Yeah,
wasn't a bad performance,
But it
but
wasn't great either.
right.
this is this, and I think
And
Sonia.
it's my favorite. What is it? Paul Newman for Color of Money and Not for the Verdict,
Right.
which
Yeah.
was the pinnacle of his career.
And I think he should have got nominated for Cool Hand Luke.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes. So they
Okay.
catch up with if you're still alive, they'll try and do catch up. The
Yeah.
only person they didn't do it for was Chadwick.
And see, this is you're hitting the nail on the head because this is why you had to wait all these years for this is what I was talking about. This is why you had to wait for Martin Landau
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
to get an award. This is why you had to wait Jack Palance.
Right.
Okay.
What's it?
After
Curly
all
or
these.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the reason
Paul
why
Newman.
it was the reason why everybody was surprised Chadwick didn't win last year.
Yeah, exactly. It's the reason why what Paul Newman did he win? I think he won honorary.
Yeah,
No.
he got an honorary one also.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
You
he got
know?
an award for the Color of Money.
And if we
Yeah.
don't think you're going to get one, we'll give you an honorary one.
Exactly.
That's why
Yeah,
they just gave Angela Bassett one.
Yeah, but he was
Samuel
robbed.
L. Jackson got an honorary Oscar, so
But
Yeah.
actually, didn't he get an award, a Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival? They didn't even have an award for Best Supporting Actor, and they gave one to him for Jungle Fever.
Yeah. And I think Spike Lee, didn't he get an honorary?
Yep.
See,
Yeah,
so
but Samuel Jackson they made an award for him. Mhm.
So what he
Also
did-
one of the top box office. All his films, what, over 100 billion over his films, something
Yeah.
like that.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
yeah, thank you
he's-
for bringing us in money.
yeah,
Yeah,
you know?
well, that's the thing, right? But the thing is
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
well, part of you have to understand it is an industry, and it
Mhm.
does have to make money.
Mhm.
So that is another thing. I think that it is disingenuous to act as though all this is art because that art has to be paid for. Like this in the
And that's
verdict.
why they give it the producers awards.
This is the verdict.
Well, see, this is. I remember a bunch of podcasts ago. I forget the topic, but it had to do with maybe race.
Mhm.
Kept
I
telling
mean, no, it's not. It really isn't. But you're right, but not. Because
They'll take some gold.
because no matter how much money Black Panther made, they were not in the business of elevating that film because it was the wrong color.
yeah,
So
and
it takes
and
a while to get around to it. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you gave us some money, but but Chadwick is gone, and
but
in
they
that project,
it still came down to the green because they did not think that movie was gonna do good.
You know what? That's the most cynical film that was ever greenlit. It really is. Because
Yeah.
what it is that they said, okay, we're going to give you $250 million, which in all honesty was not sufficient for the film that
Yeah.
he had needed to have budgeted for. But
Yeah,
he did
they
it nonetheless. And they said, look, if it does well, like you said, if he can, get equal to Deadpool, then we'll call it a success.
It,
How
it
much
was
was
it was
the
one of the first.
But if it falls flat on its face,
What was the budget
then
for
we
Sinners?
never have to do another
number
black
one.
hero
What was the budget?
superhero film again.
Exactly.
Even though it was
What was the
one of
budget for
Kevin
Sinners?
Feige's favorite characters, he got overruled on the budget.
Mhm.
What was the budget for Sinners?
I do not know. I don't think it was that high.
They never released that amount.
Was it
I don't think it was
250?
that high. They did say it because they were saying how much it would cost for it to break even. So they had to give us the budget. But I can't remember what it was, but I don't think it was 250. But I mean, it may have been. But I think it wasn't. I don't think it was that much. Was it 90 million? 90 million was the
You
budget for
joking?
Sinners.
So
Nope.
it had to
90 million
make
for Sinners?
it had to make
That's the
145,
production budget.
135, yeah, and half of the production budget to
That's
marketing.
all for $90 million.
That was the production budget for Sinners.
Remember, they got a whole bunch of discounts because Marvel sold them their costumes that they were going to use on Blade.
That's a lot of that's a BS budget, and he did a really baffled film for $90 million, man.
Yeah, and
Nobody talks about that.
I
He also
guarantee
shot
you,
in Mississippi.
I guarantee you a good chunk of that budget went to the special effects.
Uh-huh.
And
Because
people
they
bitch
shot
them
it in
on,
Mississippi.
and people bitch them on about the lack of special effects.
Well, they
Because
said
he
that.
made
I
it
mean,
look
well,
so integrated.
well, no, it's just because one of the problems they had was that they wanted the vampires to be killed in a special way, not just like unstab you and you die, or like shoot you and you die, or something. They wanted the vampires to have a more, I don't know, unique way of dying. I mean, that's not for horror films, for horror buffs. That is not a thing that is minimal. It's not a minor thing, and I think I also would have preferred to have something a little bit more extraordinary with regard to how the vampires were,
But
taken out.
let's see if Sinners get nominated for an Oscar, and if it gets nominated, what it's going to be nominated for?
Costumes.
Probably costume.
Costumes, location, set design.
Sound. It'll be a
Maybe
lot.
Basically
technical
maybe
bullshit.
music.
It's going to be nominated for bullshit.
Well, I'm going to
That-
tell you. I mean, I saw the film and saw it together, with you, and then I saw it again with my mom. And when I was watching it, of course, the second time around, the first time, brilliant. The second time around, you get to be a lot more critical. And I saw some things that I would have changed. There's some things that would have been done differently. Something that, when the first time you go through, you're watching other things, and the second time through, I had a few eyebrow raises about certain choices that were made. So if it did not get a nomination for best picture or
I bet
best
it
actor or
does.
something, but I mean, but if it didn't, I would not be shocked. I mean, because I saw some things in it that were, again, I raised my eyebrow, but
Well,
I
let
mean,
me say
there's
this.
some beautiful visuals, and I think they definitely
I
should.
would be shocked, Penelope, if it didn't get a nomination for best picture and best director.
It
I
may
think
not
it
get for.
should.
I was gonna say it may not get for best director because they were all embarrassed on his deal, even though it's been happening in Hollywood for a very long time.
I
They
think
don't like the
I
fact
don't
that he
think. I
got
don't
back
think
I
his
they
think the
rights.
care.
momentum.
I
Nah,
don't
I
think
think
that
the
they
momentum.
care.
Yeah, I think the momentum is to have this man nominated as best director and his film nominated as best picture.
Because they owe him twice over. They owe him, so it may be one of those things. But I do think that he will continue to get better. I do not think that the directing was poor at all. The directing was quite excellent. I think there's some serious editing problems in the film.
He's also one of the editors.
So yeah, and that's the problem.
He was
And that is-
editor, producer, editor,
that's-
writer.
And that's the problem.
And he
He
also
should not have been
catered, he
editor.
also catered it too. So
That's right.
that's how he saved the money.
Yeah. But I'm just saying the editing was he should have had another set of eyes on it instead of himself and his wife. Because there's some places that it should have played it and then not looked at, has somebody else to come look at it. Because there are a few places, and I'm not talking about, the guy had the boom mic showing, but there's certain issues
Oh,
that they needed to.
wait.
No, now you got James. That's
No, James
a
said it.
boom
Whatever.
mic. Did somebody say a
No,
boom
no,
mic
no, no. I
song?
did know, but no, I'm not saying anything like that.
No,
I'm
but
just
that
saying,
James,
yeah.
James like pictures like that with boom mic shows.
I know.
He
I'm
like
sorry,
those.
James.
No,
On Ballywick.
no. If the next time y'all get a chance, watch the movie with James Caan, Gardens of Stone. There's a scene where they're in the restaurant
Hmm.
and you see the boom mic.
Wow,
down
they
at
didn't
the
notice
top.
that. How
I
did they not
think they-
notice that?
I think they did because if you look at the boom mic, kind of did a oh shit,
And
and
it's probably the only shot they did of it.
Yeah, yeah,
Whoa, yeah.
that's
And then
usually why they you'll still see, the
And
finished
okay,
before
product. Yeah,
CGI
yeah,
could take it out nicely.
yeah.
right.
Now,
In
if you're
fact, it's so
watching
funny.
if you're
I
watching a Dolomite movie, you'll see that all the time.
oh yeah, it's so funny. I was we were on when I was a kid. We went to New York. We were watching a show being filmed, and so it's one of those what is it? I don't even know, comedy show, um, it's a situation comedy, and the boom mic kept showing, and people were like, "Okay, the boom mic is a boom." Finally, one of the guys came out with a flower pot, put the flower pot where the boom mic was showing, and that was it. So the shot of the boom mic you can no longer see because he put the flower pot there. I mean, it's just so we expect, oh my God, it's this technical thing they're gonna have to. Nope, no technical nothing. Here, put the flower pot there.
Mhm.
Shadow gone. Presto
And
Jizo. And
Penelope, I
then,
saw a movie that would inspired or would make James' list last night called The Black Scorpion,
oh
and
wow,
and it
yeah.
was it had Willis O'Brien doing the special effects. Willis O'Brien who
Oh
did
yeah,
the
yeah.
King
Yeah.
Kong, and they ran out of money, and when they at the end of the movie for the giant scorpion, so they used like the outline of the scorpion.
Yeah.
That's a James
At the
special. That
shadow of the
yeah.
Well,
scorpion they
well,
would
well.
use
Guess
as
what? That's in my collection. That's in
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
DVD
I can imagine.
collection.
I can imagine. Yes. If we were watching it, we said, "Oh man, it's gonna be James, one of James' movies." This is right up his alley, man. This is it.
And
I'm
see,
about, huh?
the reason why I love movies like that is because I like to see that no matter how bad, I give people A for efforts.
Yeah, well, they got A for effort because they certainly went all the way through. The running scenes with the crowd, the chase with the monster. It's like, wow, and the people jumping on the bus to try to get out of there. I mean, it's like the people in the bus, crammed in the bus, the people jumping on the bus, on the hood. It was great because that's what it would be like, right? But the one scene that really got Otto was where everybody's running for the monster, right? Everybody, oh my God, I'm screaming. This guy steps out of his storefront, pulls down, the what you call it, the and then locks it. Like, really, really, like we're running for our lives, but I'm
You
gonna
pulled down the
stop.
store gate. The
But
store
I'm gonna
gate. Yeah.
stop to steal stuff in your store, okay? Right? It's like, yeah, okay,
Mm.
all right, man. Well, guys, I look at the time, and we're getting real close to pulling it together. But we kind of like drip through saying what it was that we would change or have the same. Does anybody have any other things other than us saying that, leaning away from best actor, best actress, and then going instead with something like best performer in a lead role, best performer in a supporting role, without any indication as to their gender assignments or whatever you want to call their sex.
I don't
So
think
any,
nobody. I don't think nobody care about any of that. And I think it's like I said. It should be like the grand events, like the playoffs and
hmm
Super Bowl and everything else. So all you get is the best.
okay.
No,
Why would you? Why would you get
Mhm.
all the ancillary awards if
hmm
nobody
I
cares about?
think I
hmm
think what they should do is when all the people come in, they get to their tables to sit down and whatnot. They're giving out a card with the listings of best actor, best movie.
Okay. So
Let
you
them.
say we make everybody come on the
Mhm.
outside chance that they may actually get the award that we're voting for at the time of the award ceremony.
Right, and just let the alcohol flow.
And the
Okay,
money. And the money. I'll be
you
out
know.
there, with my money. Say, here, I'm on that list. So
The
here's
Academy
20
Awards
bucks.
don't officially have a dinner
20 bucks.
before; they have it after.
20
You know,
bucks.
well, do it
20 bucks.
before. Let
Yeah.
let the wine and whiskey flow. Put a couple of gravity knives, some switchblades, some
And I was
chips.
and I would say the most
uh-huh.
popular movies you need to make it like
Yeah.
for me it's like Megan. I know nobody.
Yeah.
It's not autistic. Lottie Da. It's not Shakespeare.
Still like it.
But I enjoy that piece of crap. And
No,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it too.
so
Yeah.
that's
Of
what kind of
course.
movies I want to see nominated.
Yeah. I want to see what
Stop
I
being
want to
so
see.
stop being so hoity-toity and try to nominate some movie that like 15 people saw, right?
Yeah, yeah.
In the
How many
end,
more out of Africas can they possibly have in them?
the Academy Awards are not going to be reconfigured until the Academy itself is reconfigured.
But let's do that
And I
too.
Exactly.
don't know what direction that will be, but I know they're trying to.
Let's do
Mm,
that too. That didn't need to be reconfigured. Because like
yeah,
once again, nobody gonna watch the Super Bowl with the Florida Marlins playing.
yeah. Because
Nobody's
Florida
gonna watch
Marlins, they,
nobody's gonna watch the Lint Maker that came in the movie theaters for
Yeah,
like 2 days and
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah. All
And
right,
nobody gives a damn
Cranston.
who wins best ball boy.
Okay, Cranston. Anything? You all done for the moment?
Well, I would go along with the idea that since they try to include as actors anybody who acts regardless of gender, so I think that it's going to be kind of difficult to stop that unless they say, well, best performance by a female, and then well, define what a female is or something like that. But generally, I would say, yeah, it's what we get, and I say we're used to it. People still watch it regardless of how long it is. They make jokes in and out,
Yep.
even in and of themselves. And you look at the inconsistencies, like some people they'll play off, and then I think it became a talking point for 2 weeks when Adrian Brody, they played him off twice and he wouldn't leave the stage and everything. And they were saying, yeah,
Yeah.
he's still making a speech the next day and
Yep.
stuff. So I think flaws and all, we go along with it and stuff. Just keep it the way it is.
Okay. Oh, I have a question now. With Adrian Brody, when he win for the Brutalist this year, this past
Yeah.
year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't know. I saw
Yeah.
it, but I didn't
He
know what
won.
he for. And in fact, Otto said he got that script. He was fishing for an award-winning script.
Of
You
course
know,
he was.
yeah.
Of course he
We should
was.
have a
But the thing
show.
is,
We should have a show when to talk about all the people that is, apparent that they
Mm-hmm.
were fishing for a
but
script
no, but it's fine.
for an award. Hmm.
To me, it's equal to sports.
Hmm.
Okay, if somebody's fishing for MVP, or when
Hmm.
Kevin Durant
Hmm.
leaves Oklahoma and goes to the Golden State Warriors,
Yeah. Yep.
people are fishing. Okay,
Yeah.
sometimes they win, sometimes they don't.
Yep.
Okay, but the thing is, nobody's interested in the Super Bowl that lasts 8 goddamn quarters and have
Yeah.
2 halftime shows.
Yeah. Just true. Just
And
true.
your 2 halftime shows are going to be something like something stupid, old Madonna or something, or somebody playing tic tac toe. You know,
Well, if you look at
you
it
need to get
though,
things excited. It's
Hmm.
but
not
if you look at
exciting.
it, they do on the day of the Super Bowl, they start the coverage like at 6 o'clock in the morning.
That's crazy.
The game doesn't come on until 6:30 at night. So
It's
you've seen
crazy.
so much
But it's
stuff
the
that's going on all
game. It's
day.
the game,
Yeah.
and people watch the game and they watch the ads.
Hmm.
And the bottom line is
I cannot.
nobody
I
watch no
cannot
damn
stand the
Academy
pregame
Award.
show. I
Yeah.
cannot stand the pregame shows.
Oh,
They
I hate
just,
pregame shows.
just
But you love
yeah.
the ads.
Well, that's a fun thing. That
Yeah.
has become something,
I
Mhm.
mean,
that we look
you
forward
can't
to.
you can't even get good ads on the Academy Awards.
Mm-mm. No.
You get prescription ads. I got fungus
Just
on my toes, and
yeah.
I asked my doctor to prescribe some anti.
All right. Well, that's another
You don't
evening.
even you
We'll
could
talk
tell
about
whether
our
something
big
you could
commercials.
tell you
Okay.
could tell whether something's good based on the ads on that show.
Well, yeah, yeah, and yay and nay. We talk about that another time. But get ready to try to wrap it up here, like they do on the awards. So I'll play the music to play you out, right? So thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We will be back in a few hours if you want to join us in Gotham with Otto and James, our urban prospectors of Gotham, to tell you a little bit more about issues of New York, including this week, our discussion of the people or the people who make the city run, make the city work. Not the great television shows that we see showing detectives and things like that, but the real jobs and to align with what it is that we see on television and film that is really true, that really reflects the people that make the city work. So we'll be here 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central, 1:30 Pacific. So get some rest, get a
I think
drink.
I think I'm gonna tune into that show.
I would like that very much. Y'all take care. Have a wonderful remainder of your weekend. We'll see you again here next week in the Otherhood. Good day.
Bye.